It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared, and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry. The sedative will wear off easy now. No need to hurry. Get your bearings and report.
Well now, aren't you a curious sight? If I'd had a mask to hide my bones as well, where'd you get it? There can't be many curios like that in the world. Is that a fact? I've never heard such silken tones from a naked skull. Ha! Should have known it was a parlour gimmick. Still, you'd best keep that mask on. The living don't take kindly to seeing...
Under lock and key. An animal sty. Freight or food?
Shaking her fluffy coat, the sheep eyes you balefully, her rectangular eyes like letterboxes to the void.
Banded like a chicken's leg, but not much meat on your bones. That may be so, but look at the flies. Ban wisdom. Flies know when a
With two shakes of her stumpy tail, the sheep turns away from you to peruse her... Did you expect a needle? Get me out of this cage and I'll make it worth your while. You in? Your guess is as good as mine. Someone screamed loud as a banshee. After that, pure pandemonium. They never even told me what I was accused of. Just dragged me down here. Set me free, and I'll set you free. A fair trade, I should think. A gentleman among jesters, you are. Give... Before you can even touch the lever, you hear a sniff and snort behind you as the snoring Magister mumbles...
Wait, you're no Magister. You're a sorcerer. What are you doing here, filthy scrounger? Choose your words carefully. My fists ache to meet a new face. Clever story. I should have known there'd be trouble.
So much for a peaceful stroll.
The prisoner's gaze finds the sunken hollows that once held your eyes.
Ah, freedom! And I can set you free in return. Say your...
I'll yield to none! Prepare yourself!
What would he have to gain by killing me? Strange forces are at work.
Empty.
Good thing I didn't worry about splinters. And I'm back where I started. Nowhere to go but up.
Why, there you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get... In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters. Why? Because we're at sea, of course, and have been for...
Index fingers pressed to her lips. She...
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too... Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is a new life awaits, and if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to sauce. For good.
Yes, this is a rare kind of magic.
Is he? Oh, well. Some problems simply sort themselves, don't they?
She frowns and peers at you closely.
Delusions such as these are rare, but not unheard of. I recommend a cup of mulled wine and another night's sleep. Just why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those sauce spells of yours? See what happens.
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking.
You better stop before you hurt yourself. All will, but no result. There you have it. See? The collar's function. It neuters you of sort for your own peace of mind, of course. You're...
Did the murderer take him into this room? Was he already here?
My, these smelling salts are strong stuff.
Good gods, there's been a murder here.
Behind the Magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd...
Easy now. Why don't you move along? Get some fresh air. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always. Aren't you enterprising? I'll let Waters tell you no herself. Go ahead. She with the body.
A young Magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles white.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this. Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. Two things scared the living dead. We'll find out who did this.
She looks up at you with a...
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole... You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. I thought as much. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Thanks. I just want to catch whoever did this. Yes, this is a rare kind of magic. I'll need to write to headquarters right away.
Sing us a song, I know you can.
That's enough now. Ah, there you are. Husband. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not-at-all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical. How very correct you are, spouse of mine. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb refuses. What? What's so...
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and get, and maybe I'll sing you something when I...
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we? You presume right. Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after lunch. You take care, though. Nope, trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though...
Good luck, Chief.
I'm here because I'm magic. Do you know Losa? She's a really good singer.
You look like my daddy. His name is Frida.
Take it easy, Chief.
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just get to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
The Divine Order wants to know. Well, you aren't here on my list. Scrammy.
Insufferable, surely.
You one of them? A Divine Order loyal? They killed a sorcerer, you know.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard, he raises an eyebrow as you approach.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Nest. You're kind of...
The ship, of course.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates. The
And? Sick as a leper's cat. From the state of it, I'd say she's being cared for by a bunch of... But there's more. Listen close. There now, just like that.
Squeak!
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw...
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is... No, you beautiful idiot. That wasn't any rat. It was the wheel. Squeaks whenever the... Burn my beard. That means... If we've been travelling for... Yes! Only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy. Ah, so you've eyes as well as ears, eh? You'll go far, mate. Even here. No indeed, boy. But that ain't my final destination.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
He continues stroking his beard, a beatific smile.
If you'll be
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all
Unacceptable. Less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Well, I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than... Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind this...
Well, well. What have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you...
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horn. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
There's some discoloration, as well as a rather disconcerting lack of tongue and gums, but I've seen... Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook? And of course, a cook who can't taste is about as useful as a dog in a chest. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor?
Would you put a
Yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic, a bag is as good as a shirt kind of style. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after. The very basics, then. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. Let's evaluate, shall we? As per your own testimony, you can groom, but you have the taste buds of a dung beetle and the fashion sense of a... That won't do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. Ever so sorry. I know, but you just don't have what it takes. A good slave's made of sterner stuff, I'm afraid, still. Hone your skills, and one day you may just qualify for a position in a lesser household than mine.
I'm busy watching for clues.
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. No.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this tramp Ifan.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again. He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck. He
pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now...
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander, many...
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword, and now he's Johnny Big Pants. Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the joy. No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring...
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. The joy, I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since wonder if we'll get to meet the ringmaster himself. Easy now. I might think the same. But Vic here will blow a blood vessel if he hears you talking like...
What are you conspiring about over there?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet.
Name!
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls at you as he stows the notebook back in...
Away with you!
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lip.
Listen.
How dare you classify this slop as food?
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a...
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
She shakes her head.
Game for one, I'm afraid. Rolling dice. Deciding fates. Don't worry, honey. It isn't you.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy...
Never say never, though.
She eyes you quite...
Not the future, no. But I can read the past in flesh. One of the perks of being an elf. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
She looks at you in surprise when you bear an arm of bone.
My. Guess I'll have to find out the memory from Marrow.
What? She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue, efficient like a cat grooming.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers, watching, staring. You were desperate to speak up, to reach out, to form a connection with these strange creatures. But you were scared, terrified even, of what they might think of you.
She pats you on the shoulder,
There, don't you worry, darling. I don't lick and tell. Take it easy, Chief.
This wolf on a leash now.
You! Sorcerer! Blood?
And you right over the side of this ship with it.
Here to register, sir. Good, good. Magister, you faring okay so far?
He tugs the collar of his uniform and chuckles.
Sorry you're upset, sir. But we all wear what we wear for a reason. You head on in now. Well,
Keep those bombs trained on her. And if she tries to run, shoot.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being...
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor...
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the...
She turns her head and looks you...
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister SSD₁. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale.
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
Mask! She stole it. If these savages see me without it, they will have my skull for a goblet.
What happened? Must have been the turnips. You.
The lizard's eyes close as he slips in. You shake the The dwarf lies in a heap on the floor, his great beard twisted and tangled around him. He is stock still. You hear a faint thud, thud. Ivan lies motionless, curled on the ground like an animal. Under his shaggy hair, you can see green eyes. His eyes flicker open.
Lucian.
Ivan cries out, then his eyes fall close.
No, not the final dark. Not yet.
Her hand lies limp in yours. She's too weak to...
The dice roll darkly. They're rolling.
The young woman lies in a heap on the floor. She's breathing normally, but her eyes are wide open, like those of a corpse.
No.
The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and... The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding.
The hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way. And now you are silent. If only all humans were so...
The hound paws desperately at its snout. It winces as it draws blood from its wet black nose and continues scratching. The dog notices you for the first time and snarls, the hairs on its back prickling.
You sorcerer!
It sneezes suddenly and paws at its nose while...
Can't smell. Please, make it stop. Too much. Too much.
The dog whines and continues pawing.
Long before this thing snaps into splinters. God damn it! I need to get off this wreck. And quick. Damn. That doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
He eyes the collar circling your neck and reaches...
Another sorcerer!
The Magister's companion doesn't blink, frozen in place at the sight of you.
Even if I knew how to rip that thing off, I wouldn't. Some crazy banshee comes screaming.
He whispers loudly to the other man.
Don't just cower there, Rix. Take out...
Rix grabs his sword, which shakes in the rhythm of his trembling hand. The Magisters look to each other, then back to you.
Your lies end here.
And you thought Rivellon was flat.
Ugh, the human's chief. Alexander. A curious name, but no more bizarre than anything else that species does. Something's pounding on the hull.
The marking on the door was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You press your palm against the door to open it. Your fingers clack against the wood, and you suddenly feel grey. The touch leaves you numb, dull. It doesn't budge.
That means there's still a chance.
Shut your trap, kid. Children and dwarfs first, just like the old...
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby...
Said there were other people down there.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you! There's a ladder right over there. You can...
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear?
The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding.
If you can walk, get yourself up the ladder. There's a... Wait. Void Woken.
Bugs would sink the ship on my watch.
They who are about to triumph.
Scary.
Let the games begin.
I've faced worse.
No telling where there might be more. We need to move.
Magister C1. The one who put on this damn collar. Sounds like she
tries to speak, but can only gape as she clutches her neck, trying to stem the bleeding of a gushing wound. With jagged movements, she raises her clenched fist and holds out a length of cloth, soaked with some kind of strong-smelling tincture. Blood quickly soaks through the cloth. Magister C1's mouth opens and closes, her eyes wide in terror. Blood pours out from around the bandage. Magister C1 reaches out to you, her hand flailing. It's working. The pressure is stemming the flow of blood. C1 clutches something within the ship, snaps. The floorboards shudder. C1 struggles to her feet, clinging to you tightly. The ship lets out a deep groan.
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas,
We lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Orivan.